Welcome to Your City Connections, where you get to meet entertaining and informative guests. Guests such as an artist with a brush or with a camera, and guests with a violin. City Connections, providing insightful interviews with favorite son Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb. To city commissioners, the mayor. Interviews with a rodeo queen, to beauty queen, and even a NBA player. Now, join Steve Keim as he discusses another engaging topic on City Connections.
Hello again, I'm Steve Keim, and welcome to this special edition of City Connections. First off, I want to say special thanks to our mutual friend, Jay Hobright. Jay came to me the other day and said, you know, Steve, we need to be doing something and just raise the awareness about the Junior College World Series that's coming up. So we will put all the blame on Jay on this. And thanks for Jay for the inspiration to make this show possible. My special guest today on this special edition is Bill Mayberry. Bill, welcome to the ETN studios.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. You are one busy guy, and you have the title associated with your name of Activities Director. Now, everybody sees you and they say, well, that's Bill Mayberry. But this is your opportunity to maybe enlighten me, Activities Director for the Enid schools.
We have a lot of activities at Enid Public Schools, and they all have performances or exhibitions or whatever. And usually we take gate or do some fundraising or something associated with that, and that's what I coordinate. The game management, fundraising events, that sort of thing, and oversee activities for the district, mainly at the high school.
Okay. Now, we'll talk about your connection to the Junior College World Series, but let's kind of start at the beginning. I know you're a former baseball coach. You've been around athletics since you were 3 months old, right? I mean, quite some time. But let's start with the ballpark, David Allen Ballpark. I've had the real privilege and honor to visit with Paul Allen, and he gave a very moving story about the ballpark. But for our viewers on this special edition show, Bill, kind of give us a brief history of the David Allen Ballpark, how it came to be.
We may have to stretch that word brief because that's difficult for me when we're talking about the ballpark.
Yeah.
But the city had this area of land that was dilapidated old buildings and in disrepair. And so Todd Humphrey and I had an idea. We both played baseball in Enid, and let's see about making that a ballpark. And then originally it was going to be Grand Avenue Ballpark and not be the beautiful edifice it is now. Right. But then the Allens became involved, and this all started in about '96, and we opened August 4th of '99. Yeah. So last year we anticipated we would play, if we got 100 events a year, we thought we would really be doing something. And last year we played 414.
Wow, impressive. And so for those of you that are watching our program today, not basically familiar with Enid, the David Allen Memorial Ballpark is named after the late, David Allen, the son of Paul Allen. So that's a great way for them to, in memory and memorialize their son, because he was a ball player, I understand.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the connection there also, is that it's for amateur baseball, not professional baseball, but amateur baseball. And all of us, or a lot of us, grow up with this dream of playing in the big leagues and going to make a career out of this. But usually you might make it to the college level, and it's just kind of a vehicle that helps you get an education. Or you look up and you're walking across stage. Right. And you're not walking out on Yankee Stadium. You now have received an education, and that was kind of how David went also. And it was love for baseball, a tremendously intelligent young man, and a fine tribute. And with the number of people that utilize the ballpark and the young men college age that walk in and just are taken back by that, it's managed by the school. It's owned by the city, and the events are run by the Ballpark Corp. So
great partnership all around.
It's a great partnership.
And Bill, there's times that I'll go to a meeting in Oklahoma City and there'll be some individuals that say, oh, you're from Enid, Steve? Oh, man, I love that David Allen Ballpark. They may not say anything about a restaurant or anything, but they will say, what a great ballpark, or we were just in your city with their son playing in a ballpark or something. Well, let's talk a little bit about the National Junior College World Series, and I think sometimes we're so close to it. We live in Enid. It's Memorial Day weekend. We're so close to the tournament. Yeah, here comes another one. Yeah, we're excited. But as a, I guess, refresher to those watching, Bill,
Sure.
How many teams make it here, and how do they get here? They've got to be winning some part in the country to get that opportunity to come to Enid.
10 teams make the final bracket.
Okay.
That's how it's composed. And we're fortunate we have several Division II colleges, including Northern Oklahoma College right here in Enid, that compete to get there. There's 300 and some colleges across the United States. They have a regional playoff, then they have a district playoff, and then the final 10 come to the World Series from wherever they win at. We know 2 of the teams right now, but we don't know the other 8 because they're still playing.
Right.
And it's a national competition. Numbers-wise, it's probably compared to how many are in the pool of possible champions, and then come down to 1. It's probably the biggest in collegiate sports.
When I was talking with Jay Hobright the other day, we were talking a little bit about the ball game, and I asked what his role was going to be, and he said he was the official scorekeeper of the event. Now, I understand that it's live stream, it's kind of telecast by the junior college folks, and then there's also the radio broadcast as well. Can you kind of clarify how is it being, say, televised and broadcast?
The National Junior College Athletic Association has a streaming company that they have a contract with, and they'll come in and they'll put that on, and then our local radio station will give a feed to them that they distribute to others, and then some teams will have their own. They'll bring a broadcaster with them, and we make room for them, and they do their own broadcast of their game, and that's kind of how. And then there's also what's called Game Changer, and that's how you can kind of watch at your desk on your computer while you're working, and it shows when guys move up a base or whatever.
Wow.
Kind of really animated.
I see. Well, since you're very connected to the National Junior College World Series, can you work it where one of our Enid Television Network guys can come in with a camera and take pictures of guys running bases and fans and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure we can.
Because we want to capture that, because our show today, Bill, is in high definition. The Enid Television Network has jumped from just kind of standard def to the high def, and makes you look 20 years younger.
Oh, we need that.
It's amazing what this high
I needed
def
that 20
does.
years ago.
But anyway, we'd love to come to the ballpark and take pictures of that. Bill, I was looking at the National Junior College website the other day, and on the homepage it had their mission statement, and I want to read it so it would be exact. It said the mission of the NJCAA is to foster a national program of athletic participation in an environment that supports equitable opportunities consistent with the educational objectives of member colleges. These students that are coming to play baseball, do you think that they're getting some type of educational opportunities when they come to Oklahoma, and especially in Enid? Or are they enlightened in some kind of academic way?
Right. Well, it's kind of like we talked about David Allen. Baseball becomes a vehicle for how you get your education. The reason that this is so popular with my cronies and the people that I know around this community is we have several kids that have played in this tournament that are in the big leagues right now. And we have hundreds of kids that played their last game ever in this tournament right here when they lost. So you have this range of players that are going to be first-round draft choices, or the career's going to be over. I'm going to go finish my education, get 2 more years, and that sort of thing. And the coaches also have to adapt to that level of ability and coach that way. So you'll see manufacturing of runs or attempts to manufacture runs or defenses or whatever, and a whole lot of emotion, really a lot of emotion on every team.
Very good. Thank you for joining us today on our special edition of City Connections. Here we're talking about the National Junior College World Series that's taking place this week, and this program will run repeatedly up to Memorial Day weekend. Bill, let's go back, and Bill Mayberry, my special guest, the Enid Public Schools Activity Director. Bill, let's go back to the beginning. How in the world did Enid get, say, the first Junior College World Series game?
Well, actually, the Junior College World Series started in Miami, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Years ago, and then there's several divisions of it now.
That's NEO, is that right?
That's NEO,
okay.
right. I coached up there years ago.
Okay.
Spent 5 years up there coaching in AD.
You've been everywhere.
I've been around. Spent some time in Perry, too. So
Yeah, people have told me about
being in Perry. What happened was, every 3 years, it came up for bid.
Okay.
And Millington, Tennessee had the tournament for 12 years straight. Radon Leeton and his assistant coach at that time was Jeremy Heiss. He's now the athletic director for all of Northern Oklahoma College. But they said, do we want to bid on this? A pretty nice place down here in David Allen, which we think is the nicest amateur baseball park in the United States. And most people that come in there think the same thing.
Yeah.
So we thought, and just blind giving a bid on doing this.
Yeah.
And we were awarded it. This was back in the 90s, and we were awarded it. And so we spent, always getting a tournament ready, but the stadium also. And what can we do? How can we make special? And what makes Enid special? You talk about it all the time. It's the people. So get the people in contact with the teams. And we have a host program.
I see.
Each team has a host family, a host Little League team,
Great.
a host church, all of those things, a host business in the community.
Great.
And they develop relationships there that we have some of our host families that go to these communities on vacation.
Wow.
But the hospitality that's shown here in Enid, as you and I sell that, we know that.
Right.
Is our best asset. We bid last time against Tucson, Arizona, which was had an ex-major league spring training complex.
Sure.
And a lot of money. But our folks and our atmosphere won us a 5-year deal. They extended us to a 5-year deal the last time we did it. We're in the second year of that now.
Okay. You mentioned churches, businesses, and families. How can people get involved? You're talking about being hosts and so forth. Bill, what's the easiest way that folks, they're watching the show
Sure.
and they go, man, we really ought to get more involved in the Junior College World Series. How do they do that? Do they just call you? Or?
They can call me or just stop by the ballpark and at the front gate ask for me. I'm usually there, especially at those evening games, and we'll get you connected. We have a tremendous group of volunteers. We have a World Series committee that Jay's part of, and but then we have this throng, for lack of a better word, of people that associate with the Junior College World Series on Memorial Weekend. I thought originally Memorial Weekend, that scared me. I thought everybody's going to be at the lake, they're not going to want to come to baseball or whatever, and it's been a blessing for us. It's been a great time for us to host.
There is that mindset of going to the lake, no one's working, we're out of town, we're out of here. But yet, what a pleasant surprise. Well, you mentioned how people can be a host and organizations can be hosts to help out. What else can the Enid community do to keep the World Series here?
I think that the teams, there's budget crunch all over the United States, obviously, everywhere, especially in education and all that. And those teams that come in here, 3 years ago, I did a survey of the team that stayed here the longest, and they spent $30,000 just on their players. That wasn't parents or meals or anything like that. Just on the players. And so things like a lot of the teams will go out to Crossland Park, for example, and watch a Little League game. They're host for them, and instead of just, and a lot of times we'll let the Little Leaguer come do the national anthem with the college team. But it's way more meaningful if they go out to the Little League baseball park and here's that big college player standing on the Little League base where he started, where we all started. Right. And So you have that opportunity that way. Come out, get involved with us, but primarily it's get involved with the teams when they're here. And it's all about hospitality, and those people that come in from around the United States, they swear we're the friendliest place they've ever been, and I'm glad of that.
Well, you heard Bill say that there was a 5-year extension, and we got, I guess, 3 years to go. Mm-hmm. So we need to work hard to keep the Junior College World Series here. Let's talk a little bit about, it's Saturday to Saturday from May 28th to June 4th, best junior college baseball that you'll see. What's your word to encourage people to come out? Let's say they've got a limited schedule, Bill, but they want to catch some of the games. So are they going to, do you encourage them to hit an afternoon game or at night? Well, I know each day it varies.
Each day changes, but early in the tournament it'll start at noon,
okay,
like Friday and Saturday and Sunday of the first week.
Yeah.
Watch the newspaper. There's always concession specials.
Okay.
So there's a free hot dog or a free popcorn or something like that to have fun with. And then I should share that it's $7 to get in, but if you're under 12, you're free. If you're military, you're free. If you're senior, you're 2 for 1.
Wow.
And so it's not just going to drain a family to bring the family to the ballpark.
Sure.
And so we encourage them to get out and see those games. Of course, the 7 o'clock game every night is the high-profile game.
Sure, sure. Well, we've talked about Dave and Al Ballpark, your role in Enid Public Schools, a little bit about the Junior College Association, kind of their mission statement, and also baseball. What have I overlooked? Because we have this, I call it kind of an infomercial, Bill,
right,
where we're
right.
encouraging and reminding Enid residents the significance of the tournament, but also our individual roles, how we can really keep this here. Is there anything that I've overlooked?
Well, again, it's always back to that hospitality. We have to bid on the tournament, but financially we've been outbid before and still receive the tournament. So it's not just a dollars and cents, it's a hospitality of the community towards the teams that are here.
Okay. And the first game on Saturday, May 28th, do we know what time that will start?
That's noon.
So it'll be the 12 noon.
Right. Wait a minute. So I'm sorry. It's a 10 o'clock game. I'm sorry. The very first day, there's 4 games.
But check the newspaper. It'll have the latest and greatest
have the
schedule.
concession specials and all that.
I'll be looking for that hot dog special, Bill. I assure you. Well, again, Bill Mayberry, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve,
Good
for
seeing
having
you,
me.
and thank you for your role in the World Series and also your role at Enid Public Schools, because you're right, it's all about relationships, and I think both of our career roles or what we do is about relationships in this community, and in this case, it really extends across the country because we need ambassadors within the city limits that attract people from all across the country.
Absolutely.
So thank you for the work that you're doing. And again, I want to say special thanks to Jay Holbright for his suggestion and knocking on my door and say, hey, let's talk about Junior College World Series. And be sure and talk to Jay, not while he's keeping the official score, right?
Right. We want him to be accurate there.
Yeah. Strike 4? No, I don't know if that's right or not. Strike 3. So thank you for being with us. Bill, again, thank you for being with us on this special edition of City Connections. Junior College World Series coming up, Enid, Oklahoma, May 28th through June 4th. Grab a ball glove and the young'uns and take me out to the ball game. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day.